I was asked if I had a pumpkin bun recipe. I didn't, so I developed one. What a lovely day to bake. Moin, my name is Arne, German hobby baker who's living in Luxembourg. I try to always stay away from commercial yeast whenever possible. When I develop recipe for friends, I can't always do without it because many of you simply don't have time for sourdough. I remembered my potato buns recipes from last year and made a few changes so that these buns with Hokkaido pumpkin are ultra fluffy and soft. They have a great yellow color in the crumb, more intense than any brioche. Definitely my new standard recipe for brioche buns. So let's get started. This is from Luxembourg with love. We start the evening before we want to bake by preparing our Poolish. Therefore we need 100 grams of water, 100 grams of flour, as well as a half gram of dry yeast. We combine everything with a spoon and then we use a rubber band to mark the height. As I want to incorporate pumpkin into the buns, first of all I slice the pumpkin into smaller pieces and I want to also roast the pumpkin. I do not cook the pumpkin because I do not want to introduce too much water into the buns, that's why I'm using my oven to roast the pumpkin. So just remove the seeds and then cut that pumpkin into smaller portions. Place it on a baking sheet. This is Hokkaido pumpkin, so I don't need to remove the skin. So quite easy. Then this goes in the oven for 25 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. That's 392 degrees Fahrenheit. And after 25 minutes, they should look like this. And this will now cool overnight. The next day I'm preparing the main dough, therefore I have 200 grams of Poolish, 6 grams of dry yeast, 190 grams of roasted pumpkin, I need 560 grams of flour, 120 grams of milk, 2 eggs, we need 12 grams of salt, as well as 40 grams of sugar and 60 grams of butter. Before we start, first of all I blend the pumpkin. And then we go to our mixer where we add the milk first, as well as the pumpkin puree and the eggs. Then we add the flour on top. I'm also adding the sugar, the yeast and the Poolish. Once it's in the mixing bowl, I start the mixer at low speed and mix for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes I'm adding the butter and then increase the speed. After another 2 minutes I'm adding the salt, increase the speed and mix for another 3 minutes, so in total about 15 minutes. So then it's time to do the window pane test to see if we have mixed well. This looks quite nice. So the dough can go into a greased plastic container where it rests for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes it's time to do a set of coil folds. Therefore I wet my hands and I pull the dough up and fold it over. Rotate the box, do the same thing again, and as the dough is quite sticky, this is a little bit more difficult, but it's fine. We wait another 30 minutes. You already see the dough has increased in volume, that's because of the dry yeast. Now we do another set of coil folds, and then the dough rests for another 30 minutes. Now the dough has doubled in size, so it's time to shape it. Therefore we dump the dough on the countertop. And I've calculated each bun should have about 105 grams. So I'm using a kitchen scale to make sure that I have equal portions. Of course, you can also have bigger bun sizes. So if you have really big patties, then I would go for 120 grams. If you have smaller ones, then 105 or 110 would be perfect, but then maybe you need to adjust the amount of dough. So then I'm forming round shaped dough balls. So rotate your hand with the hand on top, and then you can place them on a baking tray. Use some parchment paper, of course. So you can give the dough balls a last shape by using this technique. The one hand goes in the one direction, the other one in the other direction. I'm doing the same thing now again, so you can look what I'm doing. So first of all, place your hand on top of the dough ball, then rotate it, and then do this movement. Then you have a really nice dough ball. So let's clean a little bit up. And then we can place the two baking sheets on the countertop. And then we cover both with a kitchen towel. And let them rest for another 60 to 90 minutes until they have doubled in size. So they are looking good now, so I'm giving them now an egg wash. I have simply mixed an egg with a little bit of milk, and this is the brush for the buns. This ensures they are getting a nice color in the oven. And then I'm using here for the first set of buns some pumpkin seeds. But of course you can use whatever you like. For this second baking tray I'm using a variant. I've preheated the oven, and this now goes into the oven at 210 degrees Celsius, that's 410 degrees Fahrenheit, and I will bake them for 17 minutes with steam. And I'm here using a cup with boiling water, and this is like my steam. So I just like put the water on the ground, and after 17 minutes they are looking really gorgeous. A little bit wobbly, so really nice and fluffy, and now I'm using some butter to brush them. This makes sure that the crust doesn't get too hard, and they will be super soft in about 30 minutes when they cool down. So then it's time for the second baking tray. So first of all we do an egg wash again. And then I sprinkle some sesame seeds on the half of them. So this would be the classical bun. And then one set of buns I leave natural. They go in the oven as well. And after another 17 minutes they look really nice. Really soft and fluffy. So they are now also getting a brush with butter. And they can now cool down. And look at them, really nice, they spring back in its shape. Pretty nice, so let's give them a cut and see how they look inside. Wow, look at this color and really nice crumb. Pretty awesome. So here are some more pictures of the buns. I like them golden brown and yellow inside. Which one do you like most? The one with sesame, the one with pumpkin seeds, or the natural ones? Write me a comment below this video. And have fun when baking them. Enjoy! I hope you enjoyed this video. These buns are so delicious and fit perfectly into the season. It's crazy that I haven't come across them in the recent years, but I'll definitely be making them in the next years again. But maybe then with half of the yeast. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be eating these burger buns in a restaurant in Luxembourg. If you want to see a variation of sourdough, please leave me a comment below the video. If you want to support me and my channel, please like this video, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next videos. Have a great day, Eddie, and goodbye.